All right, guys, welcome back to the channel,
Indeed.
Guided Primal Sutra podcast. Today we're talking about why mystics make people angry and why they try to persecute and burn mystics, healers, witches, sages, uh,
Mm.
shamans. You can give yourself any label. Um, but yeah, I was interested in this topic, Ryan, because there's got to be a reason why mystics go through so much turmoil and like difficult stuff to be able to
Mm.
transmute because I see them almost like the hidden backbone of humanity. Like they're working with the energetics and these forces in the background. Like,
I think a good example of the hidden backbone would be the e equilibrium. Because the
yeah,
moment you lose it, all sense of balance is gone.
yeah, man. You can wear crystals the size of coconuts, but if you aren't ascending, then you're just kind of cosplaying spirituality, right? And I think that's what a lot of social media is just a bunch of people
Hmm.
showing I have dreads, I have all these crystals, I have all these things. But mysticism isn't about belief, it's about the voltage, right? And this is
Hmm.
what we embody at Primal Sutra, that understanding of the Vajra energy, which is the energy of truth.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
society and the elites like to play this game of secrecy and hide and seek. So it's also a cult in its nature. So
Yeah,
I don't
naturally.
understand why two secretive individuals are like beefing with each other. It kind of logically doesn't make sense, but underneath the surface, there's probably a history of witches being burned and all that kind of stuff working in
Absolutely.
the subconscious. So that's probably what's happening.
Um,
That's my take.
so I have many takes on this. One came regarding, the the Sioux secret people. It's kind of like when you
Yeah.
meet someone and you kind of have the sense that they're witchy,
Yeah.
and then it's kind of like, I think you know that I know that you know that I know that you know that I know, and then you have that discussion. But do you
Mm.
know more, etc. And the other aspect is on the persecution of um the witches, so to speak, the witchiness.
Yeah.
Of course, people will, how would you say this? Bully or try to attack is might be a better way to frame it. That which they don't understand. And again, the
Absolutely.
irony of this again is exactly those shadows they try to attack already exist within.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
man.
thus they're trying to burn away the very thing that hurts them within or triggers them within, but that's merely drawing water to sea.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, back in the day, they spun in circles until their brains liquefied into God, and now we have like neurohacking, binaural entrainment. It's just a new age form of that trance work,
Right.
you know? So I think that every mystic is kind of a psychonaut, whether they know the term or not. They explore the psyche, you know? Uh, There's this writing, they fear what they don't understand, and that fear turns into anger, and they take that anger out on the thing they feared. Spot on. Yeah.
Hmm. Out of curiosity, has this happened
Mm.
to me? I am curious.
Yeah, bro, of course.
No, no, not that I got burned
Multiple
or
times.
something, but it's this.
It's yeah, you've been misunderstood by people. You've
Oh, like
been
that.
projected upon, like, oh, this guy's like definitely gonna like send some ghosts to my home or some shit, like if I don't watch
Well,
out. So yeah, and people have projected onto you, and
you better watch out.
you
You better
better
not
watch.
cry.
Fuck, you know. But yeah, if you're mystical,
Ah.
like we got a mystical flex at times, you know what I mean? Like,
Um, if it wasn't for the ethics we hold ourselves to, at Primal Sutra,
Right.
I would have made their nightmares come true. Gladly.
I know, Ryan. And yeah, so I mean it doesn't matter how many Sanskrit tattoos you get. It's you
I
still
mean, it's
like you
cute,
yeah,
and
I
I like
mean
it.
it's fine, but you got to still weld your identity shut with the real until the ego's arguments can't pry it open again. I mean that's kind of the beauty of mysticism, I think, is it's a direct pathway to God, to source.
Hmm.
And you know, religion makes it into rules and like you have to follow this way, this particular path, and do it exactly like this. But those that are spiritual are kind of the outlaws, the kind of outlaws of spirituality, mystic misfits in a certain way. Yeah, what's coming up?
Not to speak against what you said, but I have a slightly different perspective, and it's the whole those that need religion should choose religion if that works for them. Absolutely okay. Do what you need to do.
Yeah,
Those that want spirituality, same case. Where I draw the line is you practice what you practice for yourself, not to impose
yeah.
these things on others. And that goes both ways, in every way.
Mm.
I can respect someone, that, decides to eat certain ways or pray 5 times a day or whatever. I can respect it because it's part of who you are. The thing
Yeah.
is, when you enforce your ideology onto me, not interested, probably never will be. Might be curious, but we'll see.
Yeah, it's almost like I'm thinking of the book Law of One, like the real law of one doesn't care if you've read the book, right? It cares if you embody the damn code of it. So I
Mm,
think nowadays what society and technology is trying to do is they're taking these ancient beliefs and traditions and modernizing it to such an extent that it looks supernatural to
mm,
us, right? Like so out of body is the original VR, right?
I understand.
Because I mean, mystics were stepping out of body, like slipping off a coat a lot of times. Like from all the stuff I've read, they were actually practicing no mind a lot. And if you want to talk about the metaverse, I mean, the mystics were living in meta densities way back before
Mm.
any kind of virtual reality, you know? So,
I I then wonder, maybe it's part of their era to do so. And the moment, you develop it here, it's like even if you master it on a basic level, you become a superhuman in this case.
yeah,
But looking at the current era we find ourselves in, it's clearly a very strong mental game.
right.
But that also means there will be mental traps, and these mental traps then trap you into staying in this field. How many times haven't you seen us and other friends, etc., just stay in that weird mental fucked up loop?
Mm,
That's one. And two, who has a vested interest in keeping us there? You know what I mean?
yeah.
It's one of those things that I ponder sometimes and go, what if we're aiding in our own entrapment? You know what I mean?
Enabling, yeah, yeah,
We're
yeah,
enabling our own poison. And
yeah.
of course, this is like the part where people get angry, gets pitchforks, like, no, don't touch my laptop, don't touch my Netflix. It's ironic because I do.
I think now is the time with the solar eclipse and everything. People are starting to step up and like they're gonna set boundaries now.
We'll see.
If you've been a people pleaser for hella long, like
We'll
now is
see.
the time to do it.
If we're in this timeline where the people not only wake up but take constructive steps to improve their own lives, and being a net positive for the society, then we'll see
Mm.
something fantastic. It is not enough to, overthrow the government, etc. No, this might take a few years of consistent creation of positive ripples around you. It
Yeah.
becomes it's good for me and it's good for the community. And it's more about me and it's more about the community, or than the community, I mean. It's about all of us, me, the community, and all that good shit.
Yeah, and I think also like, mysticism is jazz. It's not like karaoke, right? So if your gnosis or awakening doesn't make you more you than ever before, then it's probably you're playing in a false light trap,
So,
right? Because if I copy Sadhguru word for word, I could blow up and I could be popular, but it's not really gonna fill my soul, you see?
yeah. Instead of karaoke, I would have said the sing along.
Yeah.
It's
Well, what I meant by karaoke is almost like, the karaoke singers copy the other singers' cover
ah
songs and shit like
right,
that.
right,
You know
because
what
you're
I mean?
kind of you're trying to sound like them. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Hmm.
yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah, okay, I got it. I got it. I got it.
Hmm.
Interesting. By the way, I
So yeah.
completely forgot to put the timer, so I'm trying to like follow the
Oh, okay.
clock. I have no clue which
We
time
could
we're at.
check YouTube for timer. Hey there, Ellie. Hey there,
Yeah.
Emmy. Okay. Uh, all right. So any other questions, guys? If you just type it in,
Well,
we're
let's
here live.
explore the anger on the one hand
Yeah.
and the witch wound on the other.
Okay.
Clearly, they're both connected in some way. The anger
Mm.
of not being able to understand witchcraft and the subtle art, so to speak, and then as a crow crows outside, caws outside. That's spooky. Anyway,
Yeah, I had a bunch of crows visit my balcony, so there's clearly some rebirth happening over
let's
here.
assume it's
Yeah.
random and we continue. We can talk about it after podcast. After the podcast, how does the angering of, let's say, the mobs relate to the wounding of a witch? Or I meant the witch wounds.
Hmm. What was the question? Why would mobs?
So why? Let me rephrase this question. So let's
Hmm.
assume we are all born with the witch wound, right?
Okay.
How does others misunderstanding us, assuming we all have this wound, then affect us? Is it merely the misunderstanding that deepens this wound, or is it something else? I'm aiming for understanding how others affect this wound.
Right. So the way that I would explain this is that it's associated with identity shock, like
Mm,
when others misname you or your inner story starts to kind of crack open, then you get a glimpse of a version of yourself that you don't recognize.
mm,
And I think the witch wound can be uh, feeling consistently othered, blamed, like persecuted for qualities others don't understand in you.
mm,
But it can also be an invalidation wound, perhaps. It could be rejection sensitivity. It could be a lot of factors. So um, I think the main thing that it stops mystics from is visibility. It makes you invisible because if you're scared of people's comments and judgments, you're not going to express yourself and your wisdom, right?
sounds
So
like fear of being seen.
yes, yes, that's a
Where
big
have we
one
heard
too.
that before, Sumit?
Golden shadow. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, this is the ghost that no one names out loud, which is our nervous system isn't just ours, it's kind of a haunted archive that's been, wired by centuries of women dragged out of huts, midwives burnt down, you know,
Hmm. I
herbalists
mean,
drowned.
if you want to take that approach, like midwives and people that work with the dead, and I've heard tales from different cultures that, the placenta, the water of the dead can be used for witchcraft, and they tend to do so. we've heard plenty of stories of, what is it,
Yeah.
the legendary one where everyone, like, the whole country was in shock, where a bride got married, of course, got super sick within the week, and then died within that weekend. And very suspiciously, the family organized a quick funeral.
Mm.
Not uncommon, but it's a bit suspect. And then after the burial, the the grave got robbed, but the only thing they took was her head. And I'm just like,
Mm.
oh no, what did they do to this poor girl? What what evil has taken place?
Hmm.
And these things are real.
Yeah, it's
And
it's a lot of the inherited trauma running the show. And honestly, like even a healer online could be posting to Instagram and he wants to hit upload, but his body's like, hell no, last time I did this, we got killed, right? That's how his psyche's
huh,
playing this paranoia. Well, it's not paranoia, it's like ancestral data or whatever he's picking up.
before this
So
podcast, so without revealing too much, of course, because it is live. Before the podcast, you said my witch wound is pretty fucking deep.
yeah.
Without revealing too much, what the hell did it do to me?
Mm.
So just give me a ballpark. I don't need to know the details. Well, the audience doesn't need to know the details.
I don't know, man. It's a very vague imagery I'm getting right now, but it's like, yeah, you're definitely carrying centuries of suppressed magic in your veins. So that's for sure. Like, the
Interesting.
only way to, I mean, you just got to breathe into it, embody it, and then rewire your story because you're not that hunted wizard anymore, right? You're the returned one, the one that's come back now. So that makes a huge difference to it all. And
Interesting.
but I'm seeing like a lot of like weird stuff, man. A lot of cauldrons, a lot of like strange villagers throwing stuff at you. Lot of that kind of stuff that I'm seeing. It's like little fragments of imagery, so we
Hmm.
can explore that later in our own
Later.
time, maybe not for the
Later. This is not for the
podcast.
podcast. Definitely
Yeah.
not for the podcast. I have a funny feeling I have a weird feeling that I already know the storyline. Not that it makes me happy, but I understand. And then I have a rough understanding of why this witch wounds hurts
Yeah.
particularly much in certain circumstances. But yeah, looking at the time, by the way, um, I'm assuming that everybody has it. I'm assuming everybody has it.
I don't think everybody has it, but I think a select few do, especially
Mm,
the ones that are uh, they're starting to wake up. You can see that they're not like running on autopilot,
mm,
right? So they're showing up with a different operating system than the rest of the world. So the mystics are kind of like glitches of the planet. It's very, very rare. It's not very
mm.
common. Uh, so the fact that we're even having this conversation and YouTube isn't shutting us down is miraculous. Um,
Well, we choose our word smart.
yeah, yeah. And for any mystic that feels isolated right now, know this that your weirdness is not a bug, right? It's a critical update. So yeah, just keep
Mm.
doing your thing. Watch out for different things that show up. They're your debuggers. Like a song will show up at a random moment, or a symbol will show up, or a dream will that won't leave you.
Speaking of symbols, am I looking at one?
Yep.
Uh, ugh. Let's talk
Glitches
about
want
this.
company too, you know what I mean? So it's
Uh,
like this is why we've created a collective.
I was gonna
And
go very off script the moment you said that, but continue.
but yeah, I think mystics make people angry because they don't play by the script, right? I mean, if somebody's
Interesting.
like, they're like nodding along, taking the paycheck, following the algorithm, and then a
Yeah.
mystic shows up, like, wait, look deeper. Like, this isn't real freedom. People are going to be pissed off. Like, what do you mean this isn't real freedom? I work my entire life at this shit. Right? So when someone pulls back the curtain, obviously, like,
But
people
that's
are
kind
not
of
going to
like
like it.
someone pushing a door for 40 years only for you, a mystic,
Yeah,
to show up and go, well, it's neither pull or push. It's a sliding door, bro. What
right.
the? I don't know what to tell you, but I'm going in.
Yeah, right. Exactly. So their presence alone can be offensive because it reminds people of the gap between who they pretend they are and who they actually are, right?
Interesting. Interesting. Isn't it so? I forgot what in the hierarchy of frequencies, authenticity is first before
Mm,
gratitude. Interesting how this
yeah,
comes back again. Yeah,
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 yeah. But
yeah.
yeah, we aren't here to make people comfortable, but we are here to break the generational curses and spells and yeah, it hurts the ego that's invested in comfort and numbness, right? And
Yes.
lies. So that's why we make people angry, and anger is easier than admitting you've been asleep. Because the real crime, I think, is visibility of the mystic. That the gift is disruption, though. So if people
Hmm.
are angry at you for being too real or too deep or too unbothered by the game, then you're doing your job correctly. That's all I gotta say.
Hmm.
Uh,
Well, then I have to ask the question, Sumit. Have I did my job well in that regard?
totally, yeah,
Interesting. Very interesting. Yeah.
yeah. And you're on this podcast, so we're clearly visible. We're not being invisible as
Well,
mystics.
I'm mostly doing this as a hobby, just to talk shit with you, but live.
Right. But
But
there
yeah.
is also an aspect of like occult information should be kept occult. It should be kept secret because it's something that needs to be protected and concealed, and it's passed on from secret societies. That's why, right?
Well,
Like it's
it
not
is too
for the
sacred
general
for the
normie
common.
sheep.
That's how I
Like,
see it. It
yeah,
is it is too sacred for the common folk. N
yeah,
No one would be able to understand unless you are willing to go through the hell that you've created for yourself. It's it's one of those you should have been there
yeah.
to get the joke.
I'm reading a lot of YouTube comments.
Oh,
Emmy says, lovely to follow this conversation, the normalcy of mysticism and the acknowledgement of what tornness is going on. So delicious to hear the acknowledgement of this pain. I needed to see how big this pain was for my own story to fit to make sense.
cool.
All right.
I appreciate
Uh,
the comments.
yeah. Ellie says, yes, but people still confuse mystica with mysticism, whereas
Okay.
it's the exact opposite of mysticism. But since it's not many people's fate, they don't even know why they get upset. Ah,
Mm,
that makes a lot of sense.
good
They don't,
angle, double E.
yeah, yeah.
Good
They
angle.
don't even know.
Well, that's true, right? Because with shadow
Yeah.
work, you are forced to observe. You're forced
Hmm.
to understand why this thing triggers you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're
Wow.
forced to sit with the trigger until the trigger no longer affects you. Will it exist? Probably for a while. But will it affect you as hard? No, because you have an understanding of it.
Right.
Not a lot of people are willing to do that. Not a lot
Yeah.
of people. So yeah, I see where double E is coming from. Yeah.
Right. And I think like the idea of exuberance or like that kind of uh I think real mystics aren't like very like they're not people in robes just like very serious about stuff. and just doing like consecutive rituals row after row. I
I
think
mean, you
they're
have
more
them.
like I think they're more like the child that survived adulthood. Like
I like that. I like
that,
that saying, yeah.
you know what I mean? Like that's I think the real the real Batman, right? The real mystic uh idea of because rigid dogma calcifies you in a certain way. So it's like once you can open your, it sounds so like, cheesy to say open your heart, but that's really what you need to do if you're a mystic. Because if you're just trapped in your head, then you can't access these hidden realms to the level. Do you remember, Ryan G, when you had to open your heart chakra through that whole period?
Which
Uh,
one?
where you had to like force yourself to almost listen to the heart chakra frequencies and like push yourself to
Didn't I do
really
that
feel.
for like 90 days or something?
Yeah, you did that for 90 days, bro.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's
Man,
wild.
I was probably my most friendliest version in those 90 days. Like super kind. I don't even know how I performed during grappling, to be honest.
Yeah.
There
Yeah.
was no killer instincts in those 90 days. Just very
But
hippie, very,
it was a good reattunement for your energies in general, I think, to find a
I can see it.
balance.
I can see it. It
Yeah.
was a fun period. Didn't then go with the I might be going too much in details. Um, with the gratitude things that I did. Was that the same period? It was, right?
Yeah.
That was a monster of a routine, man. I remember. I remember, and I bet I triggered a lot of people doing it in public at the ocean. Yeah, triggered a lot of people.
Yeah, that's that. I think that's a part of it is like the people seeing you do a ritual like live, like let's say that I walk through Times Square wearing like a giant robe or something, multicolored robe. There will be people who go, well, who is that guy? Oh, should I give him money? Should I do something? Like, that their mind just goes immediately into that paradigm. Uh, but I could just be getting groceries. You know what I mean? Like, so that's the real pun is like you could be someone on the surface who's very extravagant, wearing all this like jewelry and like your arms and wrists are full of all these enchantments and like amulets and shit. But really inside you're just like a TikToker or whatever. That's like
Mm,
your baseline. Like then it's like, I don't really know, right? So we have to kind of go through this trial and error
mm,
process to be able to really play out who's a real mystic and who's just BS. That's a story for another day. But
interesting.
yeah,
I think we're slowly reaching, seeing how
the
I
time,
haven't
yeah.
kept up the timer this time. At the end, to the end of this podcast, any closing remarks would be whatever you do, naturally do it well, but also do it consistent. Do it for you and do it for the goodness that it can bring in your life.
I think I want to end by something Ellie is saying here,
Uh,
which is very true, in
uh,
that it's completely normal for people to mock, curse, and humiliate mystics. Children do the same when they don't understand something. So I think it's a good point that mystics are actually more elevated or higher, or they can see the entire game, right? From before. So yeah, I like that analogy that just look at people as kids, man. Like they don't know
mm,
any better. Don't get angry at their anger. Like then you have a rap battle going on instead of a compliment battle. But yeah,
mm.
all right. I think we should end it. Thank you guys for tuning in. Hit that
Before
like
you
and
end it,
subscribe. Yeah,
just because it's protocol, December, Sodona, be there, be
yeah.
square. Ciao.
All right. Peace. See